I'm going to SUNY Geneseo.
Penn State.
Going to University of Buffalo.
Monmouth University.
I'm going to Occidental College next year.
I'm going to the University of Virginia.
Manhattan College.
I'm going to New York University.
I'm going to Purdue University.
I'm going to Barnard College at Columbia University. RCC.
Or Rochester Institute of Technology.
Fordham University at Lincoln Center.
The University of Delaware. University of Florida.
I'm going to the University of Pittsburgh.
I'm going to Fairfield University.
Union College.
I'm going to SUNY Geneseo.
I'm going to Marymount University.
I like the family environment. I had a good bond with the coaches and teammates, and I like the alumni base for after graduation.
I like the people and the size, and they had my major.
I love the program and the atmosphere around the college.
It's really pretty. It has like a really nice campus, and the people are nice.
And I really enjoyed coding, and Rochester Institute of Technology is one of the best for computer science and everything related to that, so I really wanted to go to a college that provided the information necessary to get a good degree.
I just kind of like went to the associates there, and I kind of like the campus and stuff.
It's in the city, and I love New York City, and it's like one of the best in my intended program, so that's cool.
I felt very comfortable when I was there. I felt like everyone's very friendly, and it's right by the beach, which helps a lot, and it's close to home.
Location, weather, and the ability to study more than one thing at a time.
I'm going to be saving a lot of money. Hopefully I get into this honors program.
My major is engineering, and they have a really good engineering program.
The program that's offered there is like, it just gives me an opportunity to try out a lot of different things before I pick what I want to do.
They have my program, and it's like a good program for what I'm interested in. So.
I really wanted to continue my basketball career there, and I wanted to be able to do track too, so there I'll have like the opportunities to do that.
I decided I wanted to get out of the cold and go down to nicer weather. Fairfield's a really pretty campus, and it's really close to home, and also it's close to the beach.
They have a really good nursing program. The city's a really cool place, and it's far enough away from home.
When I decided I was at Penn State on a tour, and I just realized it was way too big for me.
It's in the middle of the city, and it has a good business program. I visited the campus, and I couldn't find one bad thing about it.
You'll get through it. It's a hard year, but if you keep working hard, it'll pay off when it comes time for applying to college.
Don't stick to one list too strictly because no college will fit perfectly in that list. You have to look outside the box and see what college fits your requirements.
To not worry as much and to make sure you pick the school that you really like rather than just the name.
Don't really like worry about like the major. Just kind of like basically just kind of visit a school and just like based on the vibe, if you can see yourself going there, I'd say just go there. Worry about the major later.
Write your supplements and finish all your applications like way in advance.
Probably that it's never too early to start looking.
Like, where can you realistically see yourself going, and what's best financially, of course, right?
Try to be as not stressed out as possible, and do what you want.
Be going to the colleges in junior year early so that you can kind of figure out what you want, whether it's a large campus, a small campus, the education, or if you can even afford it.
Start your applications early.
I would say apply to a lot of schools and visit them so that you know where you actually like, and start looking early.
Probably to apply to a bunch of schools you don't even think you would like because you might visit and love it.
I would just tell them to start their applications as early as they can.
Visit a lot of schools and just decide which one you like the best and choose that one.
Keep all your options open because the one that you think might not be it could wind up being your school you spend the next 4 years at.
It's going to be stressful, and don't give up.
Ever.
I like the Great Gatsby. It's a good book. I recommend.
My favorite book all through high school was To Kill a Mockingbird because of all the symbolism.
The Great Gatsby.
So I like the book Lord of the Flies. It was very interesting.
I'm just gonna say The Handmaid's Tale.
My favorite book I read in high school is To Kill a Mockingbird because I read the whole thing.
Okay, so my favorite book was Sula because I thought it was a unique story. My favorite book I read was Pride and Prejudice because I thought it was really funny and made fun of English courting things. Yeah.
I really like To Kill a Mockingbird.
My favorite book would be The Old Man and the Sea because it's one of those things at first glance doesn't seem like there's nothing there, but upon like later reflection there's a lot more to it.
My favorite books I read in high school were The Great Gatsby and The Sun Also Rises.
And my favorite was Pride and Prejudice.
My favorite book to read was Pride and Prejudice because it was good.
I really liked The Great Gatsby because I liked learning about the 20s.
My favorite book that I read in high school was The Great Gatsby because it proved that money cannot buy happiness.
My favorite book was Lord of the Flies.
I really liked Night because it taught me about history and it was very informative.
My favorite book was Animal Farm.
My favorite book in high school was Night.
We're here in Nanuet, New York. We've been everywhere in Pearl River. Milano's, Pizza City, Russo's, Raphael's, Domino's, and Sorrento's. But that's not good enough. It's Pizza Part 3, baby. Let's go. Here we are, first stop, Posa Posa in Nanuet. Let's get going. So first stop is Posa Posa. Gotta say, we started off strong. Cheese was really good. Thought that was the highlight of the pizza. Crust was not so crunchy. It was kind of doughy, but I mean, good pizza. It was really good pizza, I'm gonna say. But yeah, cheese I thought was really strong with. I like cheesy pizza from the now and again. But I think we started off strong. I'm gonna say 8.1. 8.1 right now, but you gotta keep looking, so let's go. Stop number 2 is Pizza Hut. It's a chain, I know, but we gotta do it. Let's head on in. So just finished up at Pizza Hut at Wing Street. I gotta say, it's a chain pizza, you know, just kind of like Domino's, except crust was a little better. I think the rest left a lot to be desired, but I mean, the crust was okay. Crust was good. Crust was all right, but I'm probably gonna go 6 out of 10 on this one. Not a big fan, not a huge fan, but not the worst thing I've ever eaten. So, guess we gotta keep searching. Let's go. So stop number 3 is Mario's Pizzeria on South Middletown Road in Nanuet. Let's head on in. Just finished up at our last stop in Nanuet, Mario's on South Middletown. Gotta say, I think that's the gold standard. I mean, everything was working. Cheese, sauce, crust, atmosphere, it was great. I loved it. I mean, I know it was Nanuet and everyone's like, oh, Pearl River's the best, but Nanuet when it comes to pizza, they might got the best place. I'm gonna say that's a 9. That's a 9 out of 10. We haven't found a 10 yet. Search continues.
How do I feel about retiring? Well, it's bittersweet. I'm very excited about having a lot more free time to do the things that I've wanted to do, the things that I want to do after I retire. But I do think I'm going to miss working with the students on a day-to-day basis and working with my colleagues in the art department and the school in general. So I think it's going to be a little bittersweet. I'm not yet sure how I'm going to feel when I have to talk about my 30-plus years, like at the retirement dinner. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel that night, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feel come the end of the summer when September rolls around and everybody else is getting ready to come back to school, to come back to work, and I'm not going to be doing that this year. So it's going to be a new experience, but I'm looking forward to it. Well, I have a lot of fond memories from teaching at Pearl River High School. This is my 33rd year, so there's many, many memories. I'd have to say being a chaperone on several of the senior trips, going way back to the 1980s when we used to take a bus trip to Boston over the Thanksgiving weekend, and then being a chaperone on some of the really early Florida trips when they first started going to Florida. That was a whole lot of fun as well. I guess it was nice to be able to work with the students on a level outside of the classroom. Working with them in the classroom was great, but then to be able to either work with them as a chaperone outside of the classroom at another project, such as the stage crew or the yearbook or even the junior prom. I started decorating the junior prom with the students back in 1985. That was the first year that they actually decorated the gym and had the junior prom held in-house. And so working with the students outside of the classroom, you get to learn about them and get to know them on a much more personal level. So I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Very rewarding. Well, I think the art department will be fine. We have some great teachers here. I've been working with great people. The previous teachers that I worked with when I first got here, who have since retired, and then the three teachers that I'm working with now, Mr. John DeMarco, Andrea Della Cava, and Lorna Carroll. We have a great relationship with each other. We get along very, very well. We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and together we've kind of blended that into a really strong art department. So I think the art department will be fine. The potential for the dark room photography to be minimized or eliminated is probably pretty great, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm a little concerned that we may lose that depending on who the new hire is and whether or not the art department is going to continue to teach darkroom photography. I'm sorry I'm going to miss the new rooms, the new computer lab. So I think there's nothing but great things for the art department moving forward. So I think it's going to be great, and I'm probably going to be stopping in to see how things are going. Well, I'm planning on staying in the area. I'm looking forward to jump-starting my art career. I've been doing commissions. I do historical portraits and historical landscapes, American history artwork, which I've been doing on and off while I've been teaching. And I have a couple of commissions already lined up for some of the West Point classes. I've also written a book that I've been wanting to complete the editing for because I've sent it to a couple of publishers and they've all told me that it's too long, so it really needs to be cut down and edited. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then just traveling, doing a lot of my history, education types of things and my art, and just trying to relax a little bit, not have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, I think will be very nice.
I started teaching at Pearl River in September of 1985. So I've been here, this is my 33rd year.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that I want to feel old, but the class that I first started, my first class, turns 50 this year. That was a little mind-boggling to me when I figured that out. Yeah. Not that I'm old or anything, but yeah. Well, I went to college at Iona and graduated, got my degree, and then I went and got my master's from Columbia University, and then I worked for a year for a nonprofit organization called United Way in Westchester, and they are a nonprofit organization that tries to provide services to children and elderly people Community services, they use tax dollars to help fund social service programs for people. And they run daycare centers and programs for the elderly and things like that. And so I was one of their research people. I researched the effectiveness of the programs by looking at some of the statistics, like how many children were served or how many elderly were served and at what cost and things like that, and tried to work out if the programs were successful based on some of the math. And so it was fun. So I did that first.
That's cool.
And then I decided when my kids were little that the hours for teaching were a lot better than corporate hours were.
Yeah.
So I decided to make a switch and go into teaching because I just felt that then I could really be around more for my kids when they were little. And I thought I might go back into business after they got older, but I love teaching, so here I am.
So you stuck
33
around.
years later, I'm still here. Yes. Well, I'm what you call a bit of a hybrid. I have 2 licenses. I have a degree in business, and then I also have a degree in teaching math. So I've been teaching some business classes and some math classes for many, many years now. For math, I've done 5 different types of math since I got here.
Wow.
Because the curriculum keeps
Yeah, it
changing.
keeps changing.
So when I first started, some of like the students' parents, right, remember we had something called Sequential Math 1, Sequential Math 2, and Sequential Math 3, like that. And then, calculus and so forth. And then it went to integrated algebra and integrated geometry, and then it went to Common Core, and, now it's changing again. So I've been through a lot of different varieties of the math, but primarily I taught algebra, I taught geometry. There used to be something called Math A and Math B, which was sort of like an integration of algebra and geometry. So I've done a lot of that. I've also taught a lot of business classes. When I first started, believe it or not, I taught typing.
Wow.
There were old typewriters across the hall in room 206, where Mr. Kiernan is now, and they had these big IBM typewriters, and I would teach keyboarding so the students could learn how to type.
Wow.
This is a hard one. There's so many memories over 33 years, just so many. But there's a few that come to mind. Back when we had a business program, we used to be able to take students and take them to business competitions. So the business students from our school would compete against other schools like Nanuet or North Rockland, and on business projects, designing business plans and proposals for starting your own business and things like that. And we would compete. And it was great. We would go, STAC used to sponsor the competitions, and we would go and compete, and you'd get to meet kids from all the other schools and teachers from the other schools and see how well your students would do. And our kids always would win some awards, so it was really very rewarding. So that I have a great memory of doing that back when we had the business program. I've been National Honor Society advisor for 31 years.
Wow.
31 years. And so I have a lot of fond memories of the National Honor Society induction ceremonies, where I would get to meet the parents and the families of all of our students that were getting inducted and get to share in all of those accomplishments that the kids had. So I really felt like that was a very rewarding experience. I think what I'm going to miss most is the spirit that's here of family almost. I've gotten to know a lot of the students, outside of the classroom as well. You see them at plays, sporting events. I see them at church because I'm a member of St. Aidan's, so I see a lot of the kids, on the weekends at church and things. And just in different capacities outside of the classroom. And I've gotten to know so many of them, not just as students, but as people. And I really feel that I'm going to miss all of those relationships of coming in and being able to talk to kids about things that are important to them. And I'm also going to definitely miss the wonderful colleagues that I work with, because I have a great math department and great business colleagues. And I'm going to really miss working with them too.
Yeah, that's got to be hard to leave.
It is. I'm getting teary, sorry.
For teaching here.
Well, I really hope that people will remember me as a dedicated, hardworking teacher who really tried to do everything that I could to help them learn in the way that they learn best, and somebody who cared about them as people, not just as students. So I hope that in some small way they'll look back at some point and say that something they learned in my class is going to help them in the future. And I feel that that happens a lot with the careers class, because one of the most
Yeah.
rewarding things for me is when I walk down the hall and someone will stop me and say, I just want to let you know, I used that resume we did and I got a summer job, or I got a college
I
scholarship.
just happened to use mine like recently.
Did you?
actually.
Yes, I'm so happy, because to me, that is so rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I did something that was going to actually help you. And not just
Yeah.
make you memorize a lot of ridiculous math rules or something,
Yeah.
you know? So I really, really enjoy that. All of kids come up to me and say, you know that mock interview we did? Well, I went on a job interview and I got a job, and it really helped me. And even when they go off to college, sometimes I'll get emails from students and they'll just say, I just want to let you know, I used this, skill that I learned in careers class and it helped me. And I really think that that's, something that I hope that students will remember me for, is that I was someone who actually taught them something that they were able to apply in their future and that they actually found useful. And, a lot of people told me when I went into teaching that some of the greatest rewards you will never know about, because when your students really realize that what you taught them was important, they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
They're in college or they're out on the job, and all of a sudden something comes up and they take something they learned from here and they apply it. But me, I would know that most of the time,
Yeah.
because some small fraction, 1 or 2 kids will maybe email you or see you somewhere and say, by the way, I learned this or I used this, but how many of them will,
Yeah.
But I really hope that out there at some point they will use what they learned and at least say, wow, I remember I learned something like that in Mrs. Moore's class and it helped me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Isaac Todd from Pirates TV. We just ate at Pro River Diner. I'm here with my big man here, Jack Sweeney. Let me lift off some foods we just got. Mozzarella sticks, chicken tenders, and some pancakes. For me, personally, I'd have to give it 7.2 out of 10. Sweeney, what would you give those pancakes?
I completely agree. Maybe a 7.5. I'm a little bit higher on the pancakes than Isaac is. Honestly, I thought the powdered sugar distribution was fantastic. Just like a lightly covered snow cap, right? With the pancakes, it was wonderful. The syrup was good. Maybe some Aunt Jemima's. I'm not saying it was Aunt Jemima's. It might have been Aunt Jemima's. Butter, great butter. Gave us tons of it. You really want to let the customer choose how much butter they put on their pancakes. Other than the pancakes though, I thought the chicken finger, I was a little less higher on the chicken fingers. I thought the breading was good, but it wasn't quite as good as I had expected it to be. What would you say?
Personally, for the chicken tenders, I'd have to agree. I like them. It is a chicken tender. You can't go wrong with chicken tenders. But personally, if I had to give it a rating, 6.9 out of 10, I'd say.
What would you say about the mozzarella sticks?
The mozzarella sticks were pretty great. They were stringy and cheesy. That is the way I liked it. Now, personally, if I had to give it a rating, mozzarella sticks, and I've eaten quite a few of those in my time, I'd say, personally, 7.5 out of 10.
In regards to the environment of this place, it's very chill, it's very laid back. Honestly, when we came, now it might have been just a quiet time for them. Not a lot of people in there, which I personally liked. I did not mind. We had constant care from the waiters. They were coming back and forth, taking plates. They were wonderful. In regards to price, it was pretty cheap. For those 3 items, it was around $20, which is, a great deal. And what would you say, final number for the Pro River Diner? What would you say?
If I had to give a personal rating out of 10 for the Pro River Diner, personally, I'd have to give it a 7.3 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 7.9. I'm a little bit more generous. I really like my experience here. It's a lovely place. Come on down.
Hey guys, we're back and we are at Green Star Diner and we just got some french fries, mozzarella sticks and pancakes and chicken tenders. Personally, I would say that the pancakes were a 7.5 out of 10. Mozzarella sticks, they were pretty good. What would you say?
They were good. I think the Pearl River Diner might have had marginally better mozzarella sticks. What it really comes down to was the sauce, I think, and the sauce here was a little bit inferior, and that put the Pearl River Diner ones over the edge. What would you say about the chicken fingers? Because I like them here. I like them a little bit better at Pearl River Diner. Again, another food item I slightly preferred at Pearl River Diner. What do you think?
You see, the coating of the bread on the chicken tenders was a little off-putting. It was not as like put together as it was at the Pearl River Diner. It felt like it would just come right out, like almost like a sock. And personally, that was a little off-putting for me. But you know, it's like I said over there, it's chicken tender. It can't really be bad.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say they were a little crispier here, which was definitely a positive for the chicken fingers here. And what would you say about the pancakes?
Pancakes, like I said, 7.5 out of 10, I gotta say. I'd say definitely a little better than the Pearl River Diner pancakes overall. I mean, like I said, they're good. Powdered sugar, spread out was pretty decent, I gotta say. But yeah, I mean, as for that, food, pretty good. As always, it is a diner. As for the environment of the restaurant, I'd say very nice, very
welcoming. The
Yeah.
staff here is very nice. As a patron that comes a lot, I would say the staff is lovely. It's a good environment, just a nice amount of people, good seating.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit better. Not necessarily. I'd say it was definitely quiet inside here. The staff was very, very quiet themselves. Overall, very nice people. But at the Pearl River Diner, they were a little bit more, intimate with their guests, and I'd say that overall, I feel like that definitely helps a little bit better, like according to staff and environment. But yeah,
the price margin here it's very narrow between the two, but Green Star has to be more expensive, right? But overall, I'd say Green Star, I'm gonna go with an 8.2. 8.2 out of 10?
Yeah, I'd say so.
8.2.
How many years have you been working here at Pearl River?
I've been working here for 12 years.
Were you employed anywhere else prior to Pearl River?
Prior to Pearl River, I was a Division III soccer coach as I earned my master's in secondary education at Manhattanville College.
How would you describe your experience at Pearl River?
I've really loved every minute of Pearl River. I remember when I was in college, I got a note from a friend and it had a little card in it that I kept in my wallet, and it said, may God keep you in the palm of his hands. And I really do feel like Pearl River has been that palm of God's hands. I've really enjoyed my time here.
What were your first opinions of Pearl River?
Right from the start, I felt very welcomed at Pearl River. I immediately connected with my students, and I was so excited to be a teacher. So it made me so happy to be able to get after teaching and learn how to teach and become the best teacher I could be.
What will you miss most about Pearl River?
I'll definitely miss the energy of the students who were really motivated to learn and the students who were really motivated to try hard. That is what I will miss the most.
What's up, guys? It's Dante Smith with Pirate TV, and today we're going to be testing all the water fountains in the high school and rating them. So first, we're in the science wing, and we got a water fountain and the hydration station. We're going to test them both out. So let's first go to the water fountain. Get a good stream, so I'm excited. Pretty cold, pretty cold. Tasted pretty clean, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Now for the hydration station. Almost as cold as the water fountain, but not as cold, but still pretty good. So I'm gonna give it that 7 too. Both 7s. We're in the social studies wing, and we got a water fountain here. So see how it goes. Pretty good stream. Pretty thick though. So we'll see. pretty cold. Taste is okay, but otherwise pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5. All right, guys, we're in the English wing now, and we got a pretty nice water fountain here. So here it goes. Pretty good stream, pretty thick again. Pretty cold too. I mean, I think the one in the social studies wing was a little better. So I'm gonna give this one a 6. Weak streams. Can't have it. So we just did the water fountain near the auditorium, and it was all right. I mean, a little weak stream, not the best, but it tasted pretty good. It was pretty clean, so I like that. I got the hydration station water here. We'll see how it goes. A little bit of a letdown. It's warmer than the actual water fountain. I mean, clean, that's good. Tastes fine, just a little warm. So water fountain gets a 6 and the hydration station gets a 5. So we got here and all of a sudden it just like turned on. So pretty weird. I guess we're in Pirates Cove, so we'll see how it goes. It's a nice stream. That is a nice stream. Wow. That's a 10. That is a 10. Good stream. It's cold. It tastes good. That's a 10. Absolutely. I'm impressed.
Hi, I'm Ella Sarkowski from Pirate TV, and with me today is John Branca and Julia Branca, and today they're going to be competing to the Minute to Win It Challenge. Minute to Win It Challenge is a challenge between the two players, and each will be given a task to complete in 1 minute. The first challenge is called the Cookie Feast. In this challenge, each player will be given 1 Oreo cookie, in which it will be placed on their forehead, and in the minute they have to put the cookie from their forehead to their mouth using only their facial muscles and no hands. The challenge will be starting in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds left and it does not look like we're gonna have a winner today.
Hey, don't doubt it.
Oh! So close. 10 seconds left. Wait. And there's the ringing.
Oh my gosh,
I'm getting it. Clearly, there was no winner for this challenge. Now for part 2 of the Minute to Win It Challenge. Today, Allie Ritchie and Taylor Hungan are going to be trying the Cookie Face Challenge. 3, 2, 1.
How am I supposed to do this?
Ah! Do it. I tried. Oh no, you got it. Please. Welcome to Minute to Win It. Today I'm going to be doing Cookie Face with Miss Miziak and Miss Moylan. Competition will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
If it drops, you can get the
Oh, shoot. Totally, I'm good at this. What's the time?
47 seconds.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh! Hi guys, guys, we're gonna continue Cookie Face with Julianne and Dante, and the competition will begin in 3, 2, 1. I'm so close. No! You got it? I'm Ella Sierkowski with Pirate TV, and I'd just like to thank everyone who came out to help me with the Minute to Win It Challenge.